All right, losing track of the videos that we're on, so we'll just call this one playing a tournament. So to start the tournament, before we get rolling, one thing I do like to bring up, and also is in the manual, is up in the top you have a breadcrumb here. If you press that breadcrumb, it'll list all the different settings that you have inside the application. So you can go to any of these. And one thing that I mentioned to users is to go to the board settings. On the board settings here, it'll allow you to change colors of the squares, white and dark. It'll let you change the highlighted color, which is in yellow. Some people may have a hard time seeing that are colorblind. And then also you can change your pieces. So to change any of these, you can click on, we'll start with a dark square color. You just essentially press on the dark square color and it'll come up with a couple different colors that you can play with. If none of those colors suit you, you can click on custom here and it'll pull up a color picker and you can essentially slide and make different colors that you want. So it basically creates colors and stuff. If you happen to know the hex code, you can just go in here and type in that hex code. So example, we can type in CCC, which is a dark gray. You just hit the check mark. Well, it's not a super dark gray, it's a light gray, but I was thinking about 333. There we go. That's like a darker gray. So you can just choose select and it'll automatically change the colors on the board. So as you can see, it's a little difficult to see some of those pieces because the darkness is a little too dark, so you may want to play around with it. One thing you can do is you can always go back to the default color and it'll automatically change it. Again, you can do the same thing for the light squares. It lets you go in here and you can change colors if you want to, so it'll change all the colors on the screen. So we'll just default that. The one nice thing is you can change the highlight color square if it doesn't work with with what colors you can see, so you can change it. Another option in here is go ahead and go back to default on that. Another option in here is you can change the pieces. If you click on there we go. It takes a second sometimes to pull up. In here you have a total of 6 different chess pieces that you can choose from. You basically just choose the piece that you want, and then when you're done you just hit the OK button and it automatically changes those pieces. So again, you just press on it, you choose a different set if you want, and it'll automatically update the set. So there's a couple options in here, and the reason why it was a little stuttery there is it's creating the database the very first time, so it has to build the database link. So once it builds a database link, as you see, it's real smooth, and you can just switch whatever pieces you want. So we'll go back and use the stock pieces just for now. So that's just something I like to mention to people when they're starting the tournament, to basically go through and basically choose what features they want on the chessboard in case those colors don't coincide with what you like. So at this point we'll use the breadcrumb and we'll go back to the tournament, and then we'll go ahead and start our first tournament. So when you start the first tournament, the one thing that it comes up with, it'll prompt up and say, please note, once in tournament mode, you cannot leave until the game is completed. You can just check mark that button if you don't want to see that again. If not, every single time you start any round of any tournament, it'll always pop up with that menu. So at this point, you just press OK. The nice thing about the system is it automatically knows which round you're starting. So you're ready to start round 1 of the Berlin Open tournament. At this point, like I said, it's crucial to put all your rounds that you play, because at any point you can skip around if you need to. So let's say I took a bye for round 1. I can just click on buy and it says, are you sure you want to take a buy for round 1? This cannot be changed. I just hit OK and I took a buy. And as you see, once I took that buy, it automatically updated my round to round 2. So the application's got all the logic built into it for you, so you don't have to think about those things. As you complete each round, it's going to continue to go through. So we'll go ahead and press on it again, and now here we are. Are you ready to start round 2 of the Berlin Open? So we can go ahead and just press OK. And in here, it's going to have the date. If for some reason, again, you didn't get your clock synced properly and it's not pulling the right date, you can click on the date and it'll pull up basically a calendar where you can choose what date you need to play. One thing to notice is you can click on the 2017, so if you need to change the year, it pulls up a year setting, so you can scroll through and change the year. And then if you need to, you can scroll through the different months and stuff if the tournament's in the future. But you wouldn't want to do this because clearly this is for starting a round and playing an actual opponent. So at this point, we'll play Jill user. So you want to put in her first name. You can use the arrow key, last name, and then next key, and then the rating. So in here, we set up the keyboard. So if you happen to play an unrated player, you can choose that they're unrated. So it's in there, so you don't have to type it in with the keyboard. We wanted to keep it simple with numeric. So we'll go ahead and just put that Jill's unrated. At this point, you'll choose what color Jill is going to play. So this is crucial again because the board's going to be set up based on that. So if your opponent's playing white, make sure that you choose your opponent's playing white, or if your opponent's playing black, make sure that they're playing black. And then here you can set up the board that you're sitting at the tournament. In this case, we'll just give it a random board. Just hit your check mark button, and then at this point, make sure that all this is correct before you hit start, because once you hit start, you cannot go back to edit any of this information. So it's crucial that you take your time to make sure that everything's put in there right. So we'll go ahead and press start. And now we're at the main tournament screen. To keep these videos short, we'll go ahead and stop it and continue on with the next video, which will be going over the board and explaining all the different features and functions that are in the board.